Alright, here we are in level 15 of Speedrun 4. How do you do the level 15 skip? Well, first I'm going to show you me doing the skip, and then I'll show you how to do it piece by piece. Okay, so we did the skip, but how did we do that? Let's walk through it. Okay, so here we are back at the beginning of the level. The first thing is that we're going to want to jump right at the edge of the platform at that corner. See how that's a corner there of this platform that we start on? You're going to want to jump there after getting speed. So here's how I do it. I do it that way. You'll notice my camera turns really slow. That's just because I use the arrow keys for the camera. It's the same thing if you just aim there directly with the mouse camera. It really doesn't affect anything. It's just about jumping off at that point. Okay? So, why do we do that? We do that because it sets us up positionally to... Okay, see how my character's lined up with the corner of this stone part right here? You want to jump right there and turn the corner pretty smoothly like I just did there. So let me show you one more time what it looks like to turn that corner the intended way. Okay, I messed it up there, so this probably won't work. Oh, it still worked. Okay, well, you want to jump off the platform at that point that I showed before because it gives you the best chance of turning that corner perfectly for doing the skip, and that's part of the setup. So you want to jump off the corner there and turn the corner. And the only reason that I pressed A there, you might have noticed that I pressed A to turn the corner. That's just because my camera can't turn fast enough. If you're using the mouse, you should be able to turn the corner completely fine. So don't worry about that. It doesn't affect your positioning. So then we get to the thing of how do we do the skip? Because that's kind of the important part. So I'm lined up with that black area right here. And that's where you do the skip, is right in that crevice. You go right up. So there's kind of two parts to this skip. There's the bottom half of this ice piece and the top half. The bottom half is the harder one, and that's what messes most people up. The way that I do it is I do it by holding W, so holding forward, and then tapping D, tapping right. So I'm going to try to do it now. Yes. And you can do that most of the way up, but you'll get stuck like this if you try to do it all the way up. That was the old strategy, but luckily it's a lot easier now. So if you can do that, then you're basically all the way there. So remember, you just want to jump right at the corner there, and then hold W and tap right, and tap D, tap right. And it can take some tries. It's hard to do. If you learn it with the setup like I have, it's hard to do it like how I just was, where I was just jumping there, waiting, talking. But just watch what I do now. Now that you know about the setup, you can watch what I do for the skip itself. Let's see. Oh, come on. The reason that you get stuck sometimes, and then sometimes you just go straight up and it's fine, is because of what part of your jump you're on and the rhythm with which you tap right. But see how right down here... Oh boy, that's dark. Okay, see how I'm in this little crack here? Right... Oh, let me get the camera position. Okay, right there, where this ice piece that we're climbing intersects with this stone vertical tower. That's where it gets easier. And I can't really turn the camera because of the way that my character's positioned right now. But the reason it gets easier at that point... There we go. Can I... Okay, I just want to get stuck. There we go. Okay. So the reason it gets easier is because when you're up here, when you're going from here to where those meet, right about there, you cannot tap left and right back and forth. You can't wiggle, as it is sometimes called, like on levels 10 and 14. That's because you only have a right-angled platform. You would need to be aiming this way to be able to wiggle, and it wouldn't really work. We've tried. You usually end up flying off this way or getting stuck. It's just, don't do that. Instead, aim this way towards the piece of ice aim forward, and then tap D. The reason that we don't just spam D randomly and that there's an actual rhythm to it is because that's what lets us climb. If we just spam D as fast as possible, you'll end up flying off the side. Because if you hold D, you'll run off. So that's not good. What you instead want to do is, with the setup, because that will avoid all these issues I'm having. With the setup, you want to be tapping D. You don't hold space, you don't jump at all during this section. You just hold forward and tap D. But once you get to that little crevice right here, once you get to the point where there are two parts, because you can see that crease in the wall, you can now wiggle left and right while holding forward. And that's so easy. It really is. I'm just holding forward and randomly spamming A and D. And as long as you go A, D, A, D, A, D, A, D, you know, back and forth, you will make it. It's that easy. So the hardest part of this trick is having the setup from the corner of the wall. And I died, so I'm just going to do the skip again. But the hardest part is having the setup from the corner of the wall, which should be easier. Oh, I accidentally pressed the arrow key. Sorry. But, you know, having the setup and then spamming D. Not spamming. Rhythmically pressing D. Tapping D with the correct timing to run up the wall without falling off until you get to that point at which you can usually wiggle. And you should get right up. Once you're up, obviously, it's just finish the level normally. That's easy. So I hope that this helps. I hope that this provides some sort of visual association with how to do the trick piece by piece. And I'm sorry that it's 7 minutes long.